Okay, and let's break my second part of presentation, more about. What is Loop? Back to the low carbon initiative, what we can do at office settings, and I also want to have a little bit of recommendations in terms of, Loop has, MGPA has joined Loop for a year, and we have done an audit back in August, and we've got results that I would also like to share with you. So Loop stands for Low Carbon Office Operation Program, and it's actually a business engagement initiative that we established to actually engage business to be a part of solution to climate change, and it's actually help measure and from measurement to reduction. Okay, to have an inventory built up to measure a office-based business to look at its carbon footprint, have a better understanding of it, and then try to discuss together how to make a reduction from that end. So Lily was actually a present ambassador when we first launched it 2 years ago. So this is the areas that we look at in terms of how a normal Hong Kong-based office operate. Okay, and you're familiar with all these. And Loop system actually referenced the international recognized GHG protocol. Okay, it's a methodology for measuring carbon emissions, and it separate emissions in 3 different kinds of scopes. You'll see scope 1, 2, and 3 down there. And scope 1 is direct emissions. Actually, the emissions controlled by an office. Okay, so Hong Kong office doesn't have its own generator, electricity generator, so that's not garbage. But some companies have this vehicle. Okay, that's controlled by a company. So we regard the red one, the company vehicle, under scope 1 is direct emissions. And scope 2 is the most where a lot of firms, actually most of the emissions come from, is the indirect emissions from general energy use. It's actually from purchase of electricity from Hong Kong Electric, like the case, or CLP, or purchase town gas from town gas, of course. And these emissions actually doesn't happen at the firm. It doesn't happen here, right? So the emissions actually happen at the generation at the power plant. Okay, so that's the one called indirect emissions. And a lot of stuff actually give rise to indirect emissions, like the green stuff, lighting, office equipment, computer. HVAC is the air conditioning system. So scope 3 is other indirect emissions. That's some of the emissions, not under direct control of a firm. Okay, and there's stuff like business travel and staff commuting to and from daily work that have to travel public transportation or they drive a car, and also paper use and water consumption. Deal with some natural resources. Okay, so you can think of many other stuff that is actually out of the scope from here, but this is starting point. Okay. So so Loop actually has the 4C philosophy. So we try to win over climate change is double C. We have 4C. So we win. Okay. So the first is commitment. Okay, for commitment. So this commitment is a lot of at a corporate level, how senior management view the problem, and how much focus on how much actually the operation of firm will take the environment or climate change problem into consideration. So it deals with a lot of stuff like how would you formulate a climate change policy or broader sense and environmental policy in your operation of firm, and also how you go about thinking about strategy and this action plan. I know Sasha is going to share action plan. Well, that's a great start. I mean, that is one of the exemplification of commitment. And the second C is calculate. So Loop system actually create a very easy to use online platform for a firm actually to define its measurement scope measurement and the boundary. Okay, and also a lot of parameters that we have already done the research actually to let us know. Okay, if I switch on this T5 fluorescent tubes, how much energy it would use and how much carbon emissions that would need. That we have done all the very clumsy, complicated calculations for you, and you just insert the data that you can easily collect, and that's the beauty of the system. And of course, the third point is very important: cut. Okay, have we set up a reduction target, and how do we implement our action plan to actually go about having improvement in carbon Okay, and actually MGPA has taken a very important step this year. And the first year they joined, they have already invited a third-party verification body, okay, to come actually to verify the data, okay, and that's very important for communication. So now towards December this year, we'll have a labeling ceremony. We will invite MGPA and actually to attend the ceremony because they were going to give a label, okay, with WWF recognition and also a label grade to actually encourage, okay, MGPA's performance in this year. Okay, and also of course communicate is not only for externals but also very important for internal. That's why we were invited to come to here to at least know about what MGPA has been doing in terms of its managing its carbon performance. And also we'll cordially invite you, okay, 5 minutes, invite you to try to think about, Loop is not only done by green teams, but from data activities. Every one of us is a carbon meter. Can every one of our activities actually help our green teams to do their job better? Or how can MGPA improve as a firm that we can improve our carbon performance and improve our efficiency? Okay, that's a very critical problem that I want every one of us to start to think about. So we, in terms of Loop, we also run regular seminars and trainings and a lot of these different platforms, okay, to engage business sectors actually to come together to share best practices, to share the new technology that they will probably see you in the future. So the labeling schema, as I mentioned, we score. We have an independent third-party verifier to come during the month of August and look at not only in terms of how much carbon emissions you can cut, it also looks at the more comprehensive infrastructure. As MGPA has already got a policy, has it already got very good communication channels to let others know, to let staff know about the carbon performance. These are all being measured and evaluated against a set of criteria. Then WWF will benchmark all the new companies that actually gone through the labeling process and try to do a normalization of the results, and then you will get an respective label according to performance, certified silver, gold, and the best is platinum.
Question here.
Right.
How many companies in Hong Kong participated in this year Loop labeling scheme?
This year we have almost 20 companies.
Including MGPA, right?
Yes. Including. I will show how many, not all companies actually gone to the step to into labeling. I will share that later. This year we have already WWF HK offices join Loop in Hong Kong, okay, scattered around Hong Kong. And these are MGPA there. These are some of the brands, right? So I can only share the result of last year, okay, because the other the results of the other companies are still being embargoed at the moment until we have the ceremony. So last year there was 14 corporations joined the labeling program. That's the performance, general performance, and you will see they done relatively better in calculation. The purple bar is the performance. The blue bar is the maximum credit they can obtain. So they perform fairly better in calculation, but in terms of commitment communications, is not doing that as well. That well. So 55% okay, passed. Okay, it's a pass. Okay, but there's lots of room for improvement, I would say. So this is the average figure. The average tonnage, okay, average tons of individual staff, okay, staff of all the firms that actually gone through the labeling last year is about 4 tons. Okay, 4 is the average. Okay, benchmark against all participating 14 companies. Right. So this is the most important part. I'm sorry, I'm running out of time. I have to try to run through it. So the total carbon emissions of last year that joined into the loop of MGPA is around 261 tons of carbon dioxide. And the intensity will be measured against how many employees that we have is around 8.71262 tons. Okay, in company. Okay. So if we have a more detailed profile, okay. I'm sorry the image is a bit blurred, but the yellow or orangey pipe is about overseas travel. Around 79 or 80% is actually coming from business travel. And And the second part is actually the electricity consumption. It's around 19.61%. Okay, the others are relatively insignificant. So we try to go deeper about the electricity consumption. Okay, about 48% is from lighting. Okay, a lot of lighting. Comparing to other firms, the lighting is quite significant, significantly higher. Okay, and office equipment is around 38% and HVAC 14%. Right. So there's some very positive things that I could conclude from that as about lighting. This is the trend analysis that we generate from the loop system. You can see when starting from August to June this year, you can see a downward trend, a clear downward trend. So, well, mainly, I think everyone can play a part if you don't remember to switch off something necessarily light when you go away from the desk, and some change of technology can also help. So, well, I know we are invited to highlight some recommendations here, of course, not to praise you. So these are some of the recommendations that WWF would like to give. So office space travel is actually the biggest pie. So, well, we have to fly anyway, though, however. So there are some solutions. So I know you have been starting to use a lot of technology, like webcast, telepresence, video conferencing, Skype, and all that. So whether you evaluate whether all of our flights are necessary, it's up to you. I mean, there are technologies nowadays available in the market that you can help have a better choice if you want to at the same time cut the cost of your flying along. So, but a lot of times, some business trip are avoidable. I know there's some trade show that some of you have to attend. So, would you try to fly economy class or plan your route so that you don't have to fly directly, doing a lot of stopovers. Stopovers causes a lot of carbon emissions. There's some positive development a few days ago about some more low carbon mode of airplane craft. It's 20% lighter than the normal flight. That's also a very positive development. So we also recommend you MGPA to actually offset emissions, some unavoidable emissions that you have to tackle with it, and so a lot of firms starting to offset, but by which portion? So maybe business travel is the part that you would consider to actually offset it by purchasing some required carbon offset. The gold standard is the best one for the market, and actually where does the money go? So the money actually goes to support some development of renewable energy projects in some different countries like China. Okay. Like Pacific, if you go on online buying the air tickets, they have already got a little icon at the side promoting about the flight greening program. Same concept. They actually advocate, encourage customers actually to offset the carbons if that emissions is unavoidable. So this is some of the solutions. Missing part is step commuting. Okay, the pie chart that I show is missing one part, which I think all of you can contribute. It's about staff commuting. Right. So we would suggest to start measuring and then record in the JGEC portal. I think some sharing from other firms that have done very successfully in terms of collecting this information is that they will initiate a civil survey, okay, to try to collect information from each of you. I mean, not to intrude your personal privacy, I would say, but just to basically get an idea about what sort of public transportation that you take, or you drive a car, doesn't matter. So just how you travel to work, and because that carbon emission is important for the green team, I mean, to have a fairer account and have a better benchmark with other firms in terms of the carbon emissions. So the mode of transportation cost that should be collected, right? This is the purpose, to get a comprehensive picture. Okay, and your cooperation and support is key here. So in terms of technology, I think there are some latest new trend of technology that you can use. You're already adopting the multifunctional device, and there are some new programs like security print and follow-me print, basically to tackle the paper consumption ideas. And in terms of filing, I think a lot of paper actually now replaced by some electronic filing system that can be explored to be employed. And also cloud computing. I'm not sure what was the stage of actually to use cloud computing of this sort of technology, but